Hi everyone, Jane here. Thank you so much for watching today and welcome to you all. Today I decided to work in my Dina Wakley watercolour journal. Now this is a journal, I wasn't overly keen on this when I first started, but I realised as I'm getting towards the end of it that I reach for it so often because I just find it a really easy journal to work in. So today I decided I wanted to do a bit of mixed media. I haven't been feeling too good over the past sort of few days. I've had a bit of vertigo, which is now passed. So thank you very much all the people who sent their good wishes. And so I wanted to do something a little bit easy. I had already started another project for a video, which didn't turn out very well at all. So I decided that it wasn't going on. And I wanted to do something that was just really chilled out. So sometimes when you're not feeling, fantastically inspired, I find grid art journaling just so lovely. And I thought I'm going to try some things that have been sat in my stash for a little while. This seems to be a theme at the moment. I'm sort of really getting into using things. Now this Kakimori pen, which is a Kakimori nib in a nib holder, is not the cheapest tool. I bought it because I really wanted it. I asked for it for last Christmas. Nobody got me it. So I decided this year that I was just going to go ahead and buy it. And I have to admit, since I bought it, it's just been sat waiting. So this seemed like the opportune moment. I got my Diamine inks out, which are a water reactive ink. So they are for fountain pens, but they're not waterproof. So when I originally bought them, I didn't realise that. So I don't put them in my fountain pens because I use my fountain pens to do pen and ink, and that I then colour with watercolour or something like that. So they weren't what I wanted in my pens, but I thought they would still be really good to use with the dip pen. So I have started off with three colours that I had, and they are Aurora Borealis, which I went with a really free-flowing, squiggly pattern. Then I've gone in with the Syrah, which is like this lovely sort of a burgundy type of colour, and I went in with some straight lines for that. So the Aurora Borealis is more like a teal, and then we've gone in with the burgundy, two of my favourite sorts of colours. You'll see how much that goes in the water when you rinse off the dip pen. This is what I do love about dip pens though, is that you can use the ink, you just swish it around, swish it around in the water and it all comes off. I do need to practice. As you will see, I was really struggling at times to get the right amount of ink, to get my right sort of angle of my pen, but that just shows you that I haven't been practicing and using it. And then I've gone in with the Earl Grey, which is this lovely grey colour, and I've just gone in with circles for that one. Now the tape I'd put down today is a new tape. Now I have seen this tape around, but I'd seen that lately Denise Love has been using it. It's the Holbein soft tape. Now I struggle in this book with the blue painter's tape. I love the blue painter's tape. It is so cost effective and it works really well. It comes in different thicknesses. But in this particular book and in some of my other papers that aren't 100% cotton, I find it does tear quite badly. So I thought I'd try this one out. Now again, this was not cheap, this tape, and it will have to be doing a fantastic job for me to continue to buy it. And I was a bit shocked how small the roll was when it arrived. But we will go with it. So then I wanted to add some things on with this little tiny fan brush that I bought. Now this is the Princeton Velvetouch, and when I did that classic thing where I saw the picture, I didn't read what size it was, so when it come, I just burst into laughter because it was that typical thing when it came in. It was this tiny little fan brush, but actually I just think it's so cute. It's a 10/0 fan. So I'm not quite sure what that measurement is. But I thought actually it will be fun to use within grid art journaling because I don't want too thick a line with my fan brush. I've got another fan brush that's big. And again, I'm going to credit Denise Love with this because I've seen her use, all I've ever used my fan brush for is for splatters. That's why I have it. It's to do splattering. And she does the most amazing marks in her work. And I thought, yeah, I want to try that as well. So that's what I'm doing. And fan brushes are so lovely in their design. I did find when I was doing this, I was thinking this fan brush isn't not giving me the lines I want, and it was only afterwards when I looked at it afterwards, I thought, oh, it's splayed out more. I realised I hadn't washed it when I got it, so it still had the sizing in it, so that's why it wasn't working as well as it really should have been. So hopefully the next time I use it, I'll get a little bit more texture from it. So I've gone in with some Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints from the Art Nouveau set. The colours are 304 Alizarin Crimson and 601 Grayish Blue. So I went with them to go with the colours in the background. And I have to say, in between each layer, I am allowing everything to dry. So, you know, when you see me switch to a new medium, the previous layer has been left to dry totally. So, you know, I'm not putting wet into wet with this. I wanted to do a bit of stamping, and I got out the Tim Holtz set by Stampers Anonymous, and this one is called Faded Type CMS 397. I will list everything I've used in the description box below. And to start with, I was going to use my black archival, and as every time lately I've used my black archival, I think I need to re-ink that ink pad, and then I forget. So I have literally just re-inked it as I was putting this video together with the editing, because it reminded me that I needed to do that. So I switched over to the Versafine Clair, which is a juicier ink pad, and I just put a little bit of stamping just to add a little bit more interest. And as is always my way, when I am reverting to comfort crafting, comfort arting, whichever one you want to call it, I do my grid art journal, I do my stamping, and I do some stenciling. So this is a little circled Dinkable from Be Crafty, who are based in the UK. I'm not sure what it's called because they come in sets. But if you look them up, I'm not sure where they ship to in the world. So, you know, that's why as well I don't put links to shops and things, because I'm based in the UK. So a lot of what I have is UK based shops, so I'm not sure nowadays where people ship to or how much that would cost. And I was using the Rowney Graduate White Titanium White Acrylic paint. Then I wanted a bit of gold, so I'm showing you there that this is the Brilliant Gold Ink Gold Mica by Kuretake, and then I put it in one of these Fineliner bottles, and I just went with the curves that were already on the page just to sort of add a little bit of that gold in, because I felt it just needed a little bit of a lift of something, and often, you know, the gold just gives you that. So once I'd followed those curves, I went in and just found a place to do a circle in each of the sections. I did find with this Holbein tape that it was harder for me to see what I was going to get at the end, which actually was quite good because it meant I wasn't thinking about it as much. I'm now adding in some little dots. I am making sure I add dots into each of the rectangles, because I did want to make it even across the board. That's just something I like to do. Yeah, so with the blue tape, it tends to not to see the stamping and the inks and everything else on top of it as much. But with this one, because it's, you know, that white sort of clear look, it shows up more. Now, I decided to leave all this bit in real time. This is me taking the tape off. Now, it did still tear a little bit. Now I have left, I did dry with my heat tool the final layers, which hopefully also loosened up the tape a little bit. Now it did not tear anywhere near as much as the blue painter's tape. So I think only in that little section there I just did, it tore significantly where you could see it. The rest it didn't really tear at all actually. So it has done a really good job, and it may be that this tape I just reserve for the substrates, the books and the card that I know doesn't like the blue painter's tape, and then just use the blue painter's tape on the things I know that can cope with it. That way it's not costing me a fortune. I don't really want to spend that much money on tape. But it did keep out the watery products. I sprayed a lot of water on this at the beginning, and it didn't go under that tape at all. You can see the really lovely crisp lines. So it is good in that respect. So here is my project closer up. It was a really sort of slapdash. Well, yeah, slapdash. I don't mind slapdash. It was a very abstract, just throwing it on, having a play with the inks. It's really nice to do this also to find out how things react with each other, how they react with water, what you can do with them, what effects you can get. And it's like a good learning curve as well. So thank you ever so much for watching today. If you have enjoyed the video, do please give it a thumbs up. Here is a list of my lovely super supporters who are my YouTube members. So thank you for your extra support. And if you see that hype button, I'd love it if you could do that as well. And don't forget to subscribe and comment if you can. It's all really appreciated. So until the next time, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.